Welcome back to Mac Talks. Football and Tottenham Hotspur have basically destroyed Bodo Glimt at their home stadium in the London Stadium as they won the game 3-1, the first leg of this Europa League semi-final. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was quite a good game, to be very honest with you. It was quite entertaining, even though the scoreline is going to say 3-1 to Spurs. But I think it is a bit misleading because Bodo Glimt were really in that game. But I have to give credit to Tottenham. I mean, they were simply sensational in that game. The atmosphere was really good at the stadium as well. I liked the tifo as well. I mean, it was a really well done, a well done tifo by the club, and the fans were really up for it, and they get rewarded really quickly. I mean, that was basically the knockout blow. Basically, a big uppercut in the first minute. Brennan Johnson, a great move. I think it was James Maddison who puts in the cross to Charlison at the back post, heads it in towards the other post, and there is Brennan Johnson for the header. Inside 30-35 seconds, Spurs take the lead 1-0, and that basically set the tempo for the game. And it was for the majority of the game, I would say a very a tough night for Bodo Glimt, Bodo Glimt's defense and their goalkeeper, because Spurs kept on coming, a wave of attack after attack. It was relentless from Spurs as they attacked Bodo Glimt's goal. And I said in my preview that the high line of Spurs is going to be a problem. The high line of Bodo Glimt was a really big problem for them as well. Spurs continuously beat that high line, and they were back, coming in and getting the balls through them and creating chances. Maddison had a couple of big chances before he eventually scored the goal. He had big chances, and he was not really able to put them in the back of the net. He eventually got his goal. It became a 2-0 for Spurs, and yet again, it was a quite one-way traffic in that first half. I think Bodo Glimt were never really allowed to play the football that they would have wanted, but Spurs really stepped up for this game. They know the league season has been dreadful. This is the only way to salvage something for in this season. And I would say, as I said, they really stepped up. They were really good. You wouldn't believe that this was the same side that got destroyed by Liverpool over the weekend, because in that game the same players felt like headless chickens. They did not have any idea what to do. It felt like they have forgotten how to play football. But tonight they were really spectacular. They were so quick. The tempo of Spurs game was really fast. The pressing, taking the game to Bodo Glimt. They were really good. There's no other words to describe it. Second half comes in, and they left off where they continue where they left off, taking the game yet again to Bodo Glimt. I would say Bodo Glimt really did not expect Spurs to play like this. In a way, they both of them play a similar kind of football, a fast attacking pace football, but Spurs were miles better tonight. I think it was one of Spurs' best game under Postecoglou. I think he would be really happy, and you could see on the touchline as well that he was actually smiling, high-fiving his staff as well. They get a penalty. I think and it's a very stupid tackle, if I'm being very honest. If you're already down 2-0 and you're making that tackle, never, in the penalty box, never go high, with a defender. And it was, as I said, it was quite a stupid tackle. They get a penalty. Solanke steps up and a very easy, very calm penalty. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and then slots it in very convincingly. Makes it 3-0 for Spurs. And that moment in time, it looked like a doom for Bodo Glimt. But somehow, someway, they find a lifeline. The captain, the leader, steps up and scores the goal. Stanless makes it a 3-1 on the night. And people are going to say that a 3-1 is a great win, and it's a great win. But the margin from 3 to 2, that is a big difference psychologically. Also, the effect that it is going to have on Bodo Glimt, that they were able to get a goal back, and they finished the game quite well. Spurs had a massive chance right at the end to make it 4-1, but they were not able to do it. But apart from that, I think Bodo Glimt in the last 20 to 25 minutes, I think they played really good. They could have gotten another goal as well, but the goalkeeper makes a good save to keep it at a 3-1. And I think it is, I would still say that a tie is even evenly poised. Bodo Glimt at home. The game is going to be under tough conditions. Spurs have to go away there next weekend. Next week, so the tie is not like really. It's not done or it's not done or dusted like that. I still think there's a big a lot of football to be played. That game is going to be very important. And Bodo Glimt at home, they are really tough to beat as well. And that is why I said that the last goal that the goal that they scored was very important for them. They got something out of this game. They have one goal. They just have to score 2 goals at their home stadium and not concede, and that is quite possible. Spurs were really amazing tonight. I'm not taking anything away from them, but going away to Norway in the situation that they are going to be in, the weather is going to be terrible. So there are a lot of factors that are going to come in, and Bodo Glimt would be looking at them like that. And that is why you could see, even though they lost the game, that there was not that much disappointing on the faces of the players. It felt like they look a lot calmer as compared to Spurs. Of course, Spurs were really happy. They had probably one of the best games of the season this year, and they should celebrate their performance. There's no denying that. But Bodo Glimt, I would say they would still be very happy because of the final scoreline, if I may say so. Spurs again, I mean, simply sensational. And this is the thing, why Spurs fans are gonna tear their hair out, that we know you can play like this. We know the talent that you have, the players that they have. I mean, it's not rocket science that they are really good players. But the problem is that they are not consistent. The Spurs team is not consistent. They are consistent in losing the games. And I said the Spurs. The problem with Spurs is that they are their own villains. So many games this season, it has been a problem that Spurs they give away the goals because of their own stupid mistakes. And tonight, fortunately for them, they did not make any of that type of mistakes, and they ended up winning the game. I think Postecoglou really set up the team well. It was nothing really different, but I think the team really responded tonight. I think the fans played a big part, and as saying this is as an Arsenal fan, it's really hurting me, but I think it was a great atmosphere at the stadium, and a lot of Spurs fans, even themselves, they are saying on social media that this was probably one of the best atmosphere they have ever seen in the stadium, in the history since the new stadium has opened for Spurs. So it was a big night, and the fans turned up, and the team turned up as well, and the players turned up as well. I mean, amazing performance, a massive win for them. As I said, the league is done in the state, they don't really care, but the main concentration is on the Europa League, and they have taken a giant step, but that step can be taken away quite quickly by Bodo Glimt next week. So they need to make sure that they finish the job and reach the final, and I think they are going to face Manchester United in the final. So it will be quite interesting to see what happens next week. Tonight, a massive win for Spurs, a big loss for Bodo Glimt, but I would still say the tie hangs in the balance. That is it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys think thought of Spurs performance, what do you guys thought of Bodo Glimt's performance. Do you think Bodo Glimt have a chance, or do you think Spurs have done enough and they are going to qualify to the next round? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.